Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. Sorry we started a few minutes late. Well, I was working. You know how it goes. And to be honest, per always, the my chief goal is always to take care of my clients. And so if that's what I'm doing, then that's what I'm doing. Oh gosh, you guys, I'm so happy to be here. I hope you're having a good week thus far. I want to let you know that we are over in the chat room, and you can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. I also want to let you know that you can find me streaming this event on Facebook or YouTube. Just look for Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic, and you'll find that. So, lots of easy ways to connect and watch the show or listen to the show. Either way, I'm just glad you guys are here. Of course, at the last minute, realizing there was something I wanted to share with you, so I'm downloading a couple of pictures. We spent the weekend in Boise celebrating Mars's birthday. Can you believe that my baby is 23? No, ma'am, I cannot. But we went to the coolest Mexican restaurant I've ever been to. I guess I've just been going to low rent places. Well, that's probably true. Being a broke ass bitch, that's what you do. Uh, when we go to Boise, a lot of times we try to find a place that we haven't been before, or which isn't hard, or more ethnic things because we don't have a lot of ethnic opportunities where I live, or just stuff that looks interesting. And so I had seen on a Facebook reel this Mexican restaurant that just looked really interesting. So we decided to check it out for Mars's birthday dinner. We also went to a bakery called Pastry Perfection. It has become Micah and I's tradition when I'm down there. I'm always up early. I can't stay in bed past 7:30, 8 o'clock. And Scott and the girls can always do that. They can stay in bed till 9 or 10 easily. Not me and not Micah. And so we've made it our tradition that while I'm down there, he and I will get up and head out to go buy donuts early in the morning for everybody. And so that's what we did. And we went to a new bakery too called Pastry Perfection. Oh my God, they were amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I got to tell you about the Mexican restaurant because it was just so cool. Yeah, my hair. Does my hair look like a problem? Because it is a big problem. I left my only hairbrush, apparently I have one, in Boise. And yesterday it was my entire goal all day to go buy a new brush, and I never did. I had a whole bunch of other things going on. So, yeah, no, I'm messy bun, like the messiest of buns, and have to go buy a brush today, good Lord. Maybe buy two or three to, set aside for a rainy day. I can't even blame the girls anymore. This is on me. It used to be because they, stole something from me, but that's not the case now. Anyway, so yes, is my hair a hot mess? The hot, the hottest, messiest. I don't even know. Look, it's going to be so hard to get a brush through. There will be tears. I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this restaurant. So this is the Patron Silver Margarita flight. That's how it comes. Yeah, they were all different. I can't remember. Original, passion fruit, mango, and something else. And they were all amazing. This wasn't just for me, please. This was for the table. Please know that. But isn't that cool? Anyway, I ordered their like signature dish, and it was called, I want to call Molcajete Loco. That's what it looked like. This is a lava rock. It's hot as hell. You don't touch it for any reason. And it has like Obviously, it has strips of steak and chicken and peppers and bacon wrapped shrimp that I gave away. I don't like shrimp. And these strips of cheese. And then it was kind of served the way fajitas are served. There was all the like fajita type things for it and tortillas. I ate a fraction of it. It was enormous. I should have shared this for sure. So I packaged it up and brought it back home so that somebody at the kids' house could eat it the next day. But so freaking good. I should have taken a picture of the guacamole too. I've never seen a more fancy, beautiful presentation of guac in my life. But then they brought Mars her birthday treat. And it was this chocolate ball hanging on a stand with a little bat that you batted it open, and it had sprinkles and marshmallows in it to go on your ice cream. So I'll show you that too.
Hand, and then you're gonna take the other one and hit it with your little bat.
Okay, thank
Whatever
you.
comes out, I dump on my ice cream. Happy birthday!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Enjoy.
Wait, do I look pretty? Okay.
Do I look pretty?
Blow it out.
Yes,
and then
you
do
look
it.
prety.
We don't care what you look like. We're looking at the food.
Did you just hit her on
You
the
just
Oh my gosh.
You did so good.
Yay! Anyway, isn't that fun? So, I just had to tell you, we had the fanciest, funnest experience. With the largest restaurant bill I've ever paid in my life, and it was worth every dime. So anyway, if you need pushed out of your comfort zone to try something different, go do it. Go do it. Right, right. Way to get plastered. Holy. And we weren't quitters. We were not quitters. I'll tell you that. Who was going to waste a $49 Patron tower? Not this guy. That's who. Anyway, we had a fun weekend. My sister Kara and her husband Justin came down with us, and we did some shopping and started some Christmas shopping. I've bought several things now, which I mean, gosh, look at the date. I mean, some of you are probably done with your Christmas shopping because you're super organized. Some of you don't even want to hear the word Christmas shopping. I get all of those things. I've made several things. I have bought a handful of things. Scott has already completely finished Micah. He's good that way. So here we are. Anyway, let's get into our topic because I think it's an important one. Have you, as an adult, been diagnosed with adult ADHD? I'm curious. So many adults are being diagnosed with adult ADHD. Our brains are scattered. I have not been diagnosed. I have enough diagnoses. I haven't dove into that in a clinical sense, but I know my brain. And I know that if I'm not extremely careful, it is all over the place. And sometimes I really have to catch myself and go, okay, bitch, you're a mess. You need to get it together and knock it off. And that's what I know. I've got to reel myself in because I can't think, I can't function, I can't focus on anything. I'm not getting anything significant done. And it's time to get it together. And so, yeah, Pamela said she has been just this year. Quelly's got to get through Thanksgiving before we even talk about Christmas. Okay, I hear that. So I was thinking about this in the sense of noetics and energy work and metaphysics and how we work on attention and focus from this sense. So there's lots of ways to work on focus and attention, right? Of course there is. And for some people, it is more the medical option. And for some people, it's not. And you're just looking for other ways. Or maybe it's both, right? But I thought that it would be smart for us to really sink into getting your attention back, getting your focus back. Oh, Sherry said she's not, but her mom is. I know if you asked my kids, they would tell you the same about me. Of course, they say the same thing about their dads, so what the hell do they know? Jane says she suspects it's hormonal and staring at screens all day. I think there's combos of both of those things for sure. I think, yes, having way too much access to the internet has done that to a lot of our brains. I felt like when my thyroid came out that half my brain power left me, and that has contributed to that for me for sure. I know that I really struggle to do just one thing. This is something I'm constantly working with myself on because I can't just do one thing. Now, sometimes it makes sense to me. Like, for example, I cannot stand to take a shower and get dressed for the day in silence. I always listen to a book or a comedian. When I'm doing glass or pottery, I'm always listening to a book. I I like that. That's like healing space to me. And I think it's a part of my good brain process. I'll tell you when it's not. If I instead am scrolling through TikTok and getting those short bursts of adrenaline or short bursts of sorry, not adrenaline, of dopamine, and I'm also doing glass or taking a shower and constantly having to interrupt what I'm doing to scroll the screen. Yeah, I've done it. I have done it all. I can't just watch TV alone. I also have to be working on something with my hands. Right, Pamela said I have to have something playing 24/7. Yeah, same. Same. But in that, even in that aspect, there's some things that I feel like are good for me and healthy and actually are good for my brain power, and some that are not. Yeah, listening to a podcast for sure. So I thought we'd talk about some tips and tricks for resetting your attention. Attention is one of the most powerful forms of magic we possess. And I will stand on that. Attention, where your attention is your magic, right? Attention and intention, I think, really mirror themselves in this aspect. You think about what you're putting your attention on. There's that old saying, energy flows where attention goes. Energy flows where attention goes. And isn't it the truth? And when you are putting a lot of focus on something, it does become the only thing you can think about. It becomes the thing that jumps out at you. You ever bought a new car and suddenly every car on the road is the same color as yours? And you're like, what the hell? Why is there so many white cars out here? How did I not notice this? Because you just noticed white cars because you just got one, right? And is it true that there's just a lot of white cars on the road? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But, or red cars or blue cars or whatever. But your attention is there, and so it's what you see. I think a lot of us that are very focused on politics and world events, that's what comes up for us all the time in everything. Nothing wrong with that per se, unless it becomes detrimental to your health, to your mental health, to your focus in general, to your life in general. But just thinking about that fact that energy goes where, I'm going to say it wrong every time. Energy flows where attention goes. Yeah, right. You're right, Liliana. It is hard for me to be quiet because there's always so much going on around me. Yeah, in the physical and the non-physical. Yeah, that's something I always also have to manage, think about, choose what to interact with or see or experience. I think we all kind of have to make that choice. All right. Well, as you know, we live in a world of constant distraction and noise. Between our devices, our schedules, the endless stream of information, your attention has been over harvested. It has. I know yours has because mine has. Our attention has been over-harvested. I don't think that brain power and attention is infinite. I wish it was. I mean, they say we only use a small portion of our brains, and there's a whole lot more data or storage space in there that we don't use. And that's cool. But at the same time, this world leaves a lot of us feeling pretty frayed a lot of the time and very distracted. Your spirit's asking for stillness and for repair, and I believe that. So let's look at what the noetic view of focus is. So noetic thought teaches us that consciousness is not created by the brain, but it's expressed through it. We know this, right? Your awareness is a field, fluid, responsive, alive. We might call that your spirit, right? The brain is the instrument that directs and tunes it. So when your attention is scattered, your energy is dispersed, your intuition becomes quiet, and your sense of purpose feels distant. People call me on the line and they say, I've lost my intuition. And I say, no, ma'am, or sir, you have not. And they say, yeah, I just don't feel anything anymore. I don't hear anything. Sometimes it's are my guides mad at me? Have my angels deserted me? Does my mom not want to talk to me anymore? They really feel that disconnected from their spirit. Why is that? Sometimes it's an energetic reason. Sometimes you're just really ungrounded and literally disconnected. But a lot of times it's this right here. Your attention is scattered. Your brain is misfiring. You're a mess, right? Your sense of purpose might feel distant. And this becomes a problem for people because if your sense of purpose is distant, you aren't doing a damn thing to accomplish your goals. And in fact, you might be doing the opposite and sabotaging yourself right and left because you're scattered. Your thoughts aren't together. You're not making great decisions for the future. You're just surviving for now. This is a very survival mode type place to live. And it super sucks. And we've all been here. And you might be here right now. And maybe you're not, but you can, I'm sure, resonate with feeling this way sometimes. When your energy and attention is gathered, your clarity returns, your nervous system steadies, your inner voice becomes louder, your work becomes meaningful again. And that's not necessarily your gainful employment work. It could be, but it more likely is your goals, your hobbies, your purpose, right? But that's when you're grounded and you're centered, your crown chakra is balanced, you're put back together. So how do we get there? It seems like it's a lot easier to get fractured than it is to get repaired. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just taking a few steps. The world wants you to react, to be a consumer, to be a comparison consumer, right? The media wants you to freak out at everything you see, so you'll keep consuming. The world of business, they want you to be a consumer that always needs the next thing, that gets sucked into the next ad, into the next new product or idea or fad. The beauty world, well, they want you to compare yourself. They want you to decide that you have to have that new makeup, that you've got to get rid of those crow's feet, or that you've got to have that outfit, or you've got to have that style of shoes, or yada, 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 right? You've got to have all the things. It is keeping us very scattered. And I would add to that that the political world wants you to hate each other. They want you to be at each other's throats. They want you to distrust each other. They want you to pick a side. And they want you to be enlisted in that. And that is human nature, to be on a side. That was how we survived once upon a time. But regardless, this is our natural response to living in this world that is always reaching for your attention. We are overwhelmed. We're exhausted. We need a break. Earlier this year, we went camping in a place where we had no cell phone service. No service, no internet, nothing for 2.5 days. That was stupidly hard on me in the beginning. I didn't know what to do with myself. I kept reaching for my phone. I, especially in quiet moments, kept, pulling out TikTok or something else. Pretty soon, I left my phone in the camper. Didn't even look at it. Didn't need to. We were camping. Who needed to know what time it was? No one was going to call. I couldn't access my phone really for any reason. So why was it still in my pocket? Why was I still picking it up? But I came home feeling so much more relaxed, so much more clear. Just 2.5 days. Let's talk about some sacred practices to reclaim your focus. So many things that you can do. Simple things. And of course, we're talking about simple things because you don't have the bandwidth or the time for things that are going to take a long time. I know that. And on this show, I try hard to make sure that the things that I present to you, the suggestions that I have for you, are things that are going to be quick. Because I do not want you to feel like you have to dedicate more time than you have. Sometimes I think I'll suggest things to you that you could take further, that you could work with longer if you want to, and that's cool too. But I know that everybody's busy, and I know that while there are a lot of things you would like to do, there's also a lot of things you have to do. I really do try to be sensitive to that. So let's talk about some sacred practices. The candle flame ritual. Sit with a single lit candle. Watch the flame. Allow your breath to soften. Let your mind follow the steadiness of light for as long as you want to. This could be 2 minutes. It could be 10. That's up to you. It's a really simple practice, but it just retrains your awareness to be present. Just focusing on this one thing. How about sound for recentering? I've talked about sound therapy on this show a lot. Soft tones, singing bowls, or humming activate the vagus nerve, helps bring your mind back into the body. You think about humming, whistling, even singing, just because that's a way that you're grounding and centering yourself. It's a way your brain is trying to bring you back to center. Isn't that interesting? Your brain knows, right? Your brain knows when it's misfiring and whacked out and sending signals everywhere or whatever it's doing. Your brain knows. And will try to help your body to do some things. Fidgeting can be the same way. Playing with a fidget toy, having something in your hand, spinning a little bit in your chair. You know, Scott was a producer at 1-2 Radio here for years and years and years. And many times over the years, he would have a host that couldn't hold still. Couldn't hold still. And he might mention to them, I'm hearing a lot of background noise, like Is it your chair, maybe? Or usually they were either doing a lot of wiggling around in their chair, and this was before people were on video, so no one could see them. They were doing a lot of wiggling around in their chair, or maybe they were just, fidgeting with something on their desk. I'm really famous for this. I've always got some little fidgets on my desk and things I'm touching, playing with, messing around with. It could be a crystal, it could be a little fidget toy, it could be anything that's sitting here. I could turn it into something to mess around with. Um, but also, you think about yourself in school. Were you a doodler? Were you a kid that had to be drawing or messing around on a piece of paper all the time? Or tapping your foot? Or tapping your pencil on your desk? That's your brain trying to help you focus and trying to help you to learn and absorb material. But sound is a great way to work on recentering. The one thing moment. Place your hand over your heart and ask yourself, what actually matters right now? Sit with that. Wait for the answer. Let it be one thing. Let everything else fall away, at least for right now. And give yourself permission to do only one thing. Maybe you need to eat or go drink a glass of water. Maybe you need to get some fresh air. Maybe you really need to focus and do this one thing, pay this bill, or make this phone call. Maybe that's the only thing that matters right now, is getting this thing done so it can be gone, off your plate, out of your head, moving forward. This is a really interesting practice. At any time when you're feeling overwhelmed or having a hard time getting focused to get anything done, when you stop and you sit with yourself and you ask that question, wow, you get some really quick clarity on what your brain and your spirit want you to do in this moment. And then the payoff is that once you have done that thing or focused on that thing, usually you can let it go. Or at least move it to the back of the line, right? It makes a difference. All right. Clear the energetic noise. Walk through your house with rosemary, lavender, cedar, or ethically sourced Palo Santo. And I think I forgot to mention burning. If you can't burn it, fine, just whisk it around. But typically this would be for smudging. But holding the intention, only what is mine remains, all else is released. This doesn't have to be like a full clearing where you do the sound and the rose water and the smudge and the blessing and all the things. What if this was just a little, whew, I need the space to feel better. I need to clear it out. What if that's all it was? And you took 5 minutes to light up a little bit of an herb and just wander through your house with it, holding that intention. And then you opened up the windows and you let that smoke out, and then you let your house clear out, and it just felt better immediately. You can do that. You don't have to do a full big clearing every time. This is just cleaning up the emotional clutter, the energetic clutter. All right. So let's talk about body and brain support for sharper focus. Cyclical work. If you are bad for falling into a work pattern and just working yourself dead until you can't focus anymore, you're not doing anything good. And this could be, like gainful work, but this could also be housekeeping or creating something or building something or anything, whatever it is, fixing something. If you are spending too long with it, it's likely that your brain's going to get overwhelmed and you're going to find yourself in a place where you're not really accomplishing your goal anymore. You work for 50 to 90 minutes and then you take 10 minutes of rest. That rest could just be sitting in some fresh air for a few minutes. It could be laying on your bed. It could be taking a break in your car. It could be anything but 10 minutes of rest. And that rest is not scrolling around on your phone. That's genuine rest. Genuine rest. Now, if you're afraid that you're going to fall asleep and lose track of time and that's not good, then set an alarm. But then put your phone away. Just close your eyes and breathe and rest. Deep hydration. The brain conducts electricity through water. Warm water with lemon or electrolytes, a really good way to bring focus back to your brain. I can't sing the praises of electrolytes enough. Now, obviously, I can't tell you what you should do with you. That's between you and your doctor and your spirit and what you think is right. But if you have ever wondered if electrolytes would help you with feeling better physically and also with your brain power, you might give it a try. I'm blown away how often electrolytes have helped me a lot and have helped my clients a lot as well. Morning sunlight. Giving yourself a chance to get a little morning sunlight helps to reset circadian and cognitive clarity. Within an hour of waking, you should step outside or at least sit in a sunny window, but give yourself a chance to breathe in some fresh air and get some morning sunlight. You know, if you don't have sunlight, that's okay. This may not be for every day, right? Some days and especially as we're embarking on winter here, you're not going to have sun every day, especially depending on where you live. However, it's important to get a little sun through the cones of your eyes, a little sun. It's important to let that sun shine on your face for a minute. That helps to ground you and center you and helps you physically. Green tea or L-theanine calms anxiety while supporting concentration. Consider sipping that before creative or mental work. And magnesium glycinate. If you haven't noticed, people everywhere are singing the praises of magnesium glycinate these days. As it turns out, a lot of us are magnesium deficient or have been. Or you're just not getting enough of it in your diet. You know, the way we eat sucks. And it's not just the way you eat, it's just the way our food is grown now. It's the kind of food we're growing. It's the depletion of our soil. It's the condition of our water. All of those things, make some kind of a difference. But magnesium glycinate supports relaxation and next day clarity if you take it in the evening. And it does. Again, none of this requires force. None of it requires anything that takes a long time. It's just best practices for your brain. Any brand of electrolyte drink you can recommend? Oh, Pamela, I'll have to look it up. There's one that I buy on Amazon that are just little packets that you stir into your water. I like that one. There's a few of them. Some of them are sugar-free, some of them aren't. It depends, but I like those with the little packages just stir into your water so that you just get a decent dose but it's not. I used to drink a Powerade every day, a sugar-free Powerade in the summertime because it helped to support my calcium deficiency, but it was hard on my stomach because, there's just a lot of garbage in that. But that's what I recommend is just find the electrolytes that are just the little envelopes. They look like a drink stick. Yeah. Oh, Sherry likes protein 2O with electrolytes. Nice. That's good. The protein helps too. Okay, here's some affirmations for anchored awareness. My mind is a sanctuary. I choose what lives here. Where my attention goes, my power flows. I return to myself with ease. Focus is presence, not pressure. I am allowed to slow down and begin again. You could choose any of those affirmations or pick your own to make a positive affirmation for the day out of. So, just a reminder that there's lots of things you can do to reset your focus if you feel like you need to. If you just feel like you're not thinking straight, you don't have clarity, you're having a hard time thinking, you're having a hard time making decisions. Mars called me up a few days ago and said, "Hey, I need to turn in my capstone." This is your big senior project in her field. And, because Mars is graduating in December. And she's like, "Can you read my capstone over and just give it a quick edit?" Sure, yeah, no problem. 26 pages. 26 freaking pages. Can you just take a quick look at this? Can I? Yes, I did. She did fine. But when I tell you that my eyes rolled back in my head before I even started and glazed clear over, they did. It's a great paper. Nothing against her. Just holy moly. Of course, maybe anybody's would in that moment. Alrighty. Kelly wrote her article for Refeminist History this week. Who has an 800 credit score besides my mother? Yeah. She's talking about breaking the bank ceiling, the credit score. It's a really good article, a good reminder that your credit score is not your worth, it's not your value, and also a little bit more information about where the idea of credit scores came from. Did you know the modern FICO score was standardized in 1989? I guess I thought it was older than that. But here we are. I will never forget how, back when the housing market crashed, I want to say in 2009, our credit was pretty good. Better than it had been our whole married life. We tried really hard. It was creeping up. It was looking better than ever. And then the economy went to shit. And overnight, the banks who were running out of money cut everyone's credit limit off where it was. So rather than owing like $200 but having a credit limit that was $1,000, suddenly you owed $200 and you had maxed out your credit limit. And it destroyed our credit. And I was so disappointed and devastated because we'd worked so hard to build it. Because what are we told about credit? You got to have good credit. You got to build that credit. And you do. You do. My kids? Well, they learned from my mistakes, and in their 20s, they all have awesome credit, which is great. But you do. You have to play this very stupid game that has been launched on us. But the game can be impossible to win when the rules get changed. Yeah. Right. Arbitrary changes and the banks don't care. Yeah. They don't care because then what did they do? Charged us higher interest rates. Because we didn't have great credit. Because they ruined our credit. It's a game you cannot win sometimes, and it really sucks. But Kelly, I loved your article. It gives me a lot to think about. I was actually just thinking about my credit score this week, so I was glad to read that and think about it a little bit more. Anyway, read her article. Check it out. It gives you some things to think about. But do not forget this. Your credit score is not a measure of your worth. Okay, my tip of the week is a meditation for crown chakra balance, considering we're talking about focus and attention. Christy's energy exercise is the Green Tara Forgive Yourself energy exercise. By the way, if you haven't been following Christy over on YouTube, and this is a YouTube link, so you can find her YouTube right there, be sure that you follow her. She's putting out really good videos every few days. Great ideas, shorts, energy tips and ideas that I think are really helpful. So definitely worth giving her a follow. By the way, if you're not following me, I would love it if you did. Over at True Crime Squad, talking about possible negligence at Camp Mystic, where there was that big flood in Texas earlier this year and all those people died. If the allegations that are coming out in court are true, oh boy, it's worse than we thought. Money over everything. And then a true crime roundup last week that was mostly funny crime. All right. Over at Planet Meditation, there's all kinds of meditations, of course. And lots of just good healing music, binaural beats, things like that you could really just listen to anytime. You don't have to be sitting silently with these or quietly or, trying to meditate. This is all just good music to listen to while you're doing anything. And that is Luminous for the week. So I hope you found some gems in there. And as always, thank you to the people that contribute to Luminous and help keep me going. I appreciate it. What I wanted to do is a meditation. I thought it would be helpful today to do a meditation for returning to center. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes right now to get ready for that if you want to. Ooh, I'm going to go buy a hairbrush as soon as the show's over. I'm going to have to ask myself, what is the most important thing right now? And the answer is going to need to be at some point to go buy a brush. Because up to now, it hasn't been the most important thing. But this is going to drive me crazy. So, and I don't know how long I can just let this hair keep knotting up. No, that's not. Unless someone else is coming over here to comb this out. Oh gosh, okay. I think while I'm at it, I'll buy like 2 brushes and set one aside so that this never happens again. It might, because I'll probably forget where I put the other one. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to get a little bit of background music going. And I'm just going to ask you guys, actually, I'm going to get this music going, then I want you to tell me what my volume level is like. So if I'm speaking at this volume and the volume of the music is at this volume, is this acceptable? The hard part is I don't know. And I have done whole meditations before and then later listened to it and realized that you could hardly hear me at all because the music was too loud, or other times that you couldn't really hear the music at all. And maybe that's okay, but I'd like for it to be a good experience, right? I feel like the music is awfully quiet. I don't know. Music needs turned up. Thank you, Suzanne. Okay, we'll put it on 35 and try that. Okay, so unless anyone says otherwise, I'm going to assume this is okay. I think it probably is. Okay, alrighty, so I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Thank you, Suzanne. Perfect. All right, let's focus on breath. Deep breath in. Hold it a few counts. Slowly out. About 3 times. And last time, good breath in. And slowly out. Good. Now, There's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else you need to do. Just this. Just here. Just now. Feel the weight of your body being held by the chair, the bed, the floor, the earth. Sink into that. You are supported. You are safe to soften. Now, let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw release. Let the space behind your eyes become warm and open. Now, imagine that your awareness, your attention has been scattered, like tiny threads stretched in many directions, to other people, other tasks, old memories, future worries. With your breath, start pulling those threads back to yourself, just calling them in. As you breathe in, pulling your threads back, returning them to you where they belong. Easy breaths in. Easy breaths out. Pulling all of those scattered, wayward threads back to you, back to where they belong. Returning your energy to yourself. Good. Asking your energy now to return, to come home, to be present with you here and now. As you keep breathing, feel your awareness beginning to gather. Feel yourself becoming whole again. Now place your hand over your heart. Notice the warmth. Notice the rhythm. Continue to feel you. Now breathe gently into this space. Good. On your next inhale, imagine a warm golden light filling your chest, soft, steady, remembering you. This light is your center. your clarity, and your grounded presence. Now, let that light expand with each breath into the ribs, into the belly, up into the throat, across the shoulders, down the arms, through the hips, the legs, the feet. Now, you are glowing from the inside out. You are clear, calm, and present. Now, silently or aloud, repeat. My mind is a sanctuary. Where my attention goes, my power flows. I return to myself with ease. I am here. I am home. Now, take one more slow breath. Allow your nervous system to trust this moment. When you're ready, gently open your eyes, not leaving this state behind, but bringing it with you. Okay. Very good. Now, stretch, wiggle, take a drink, yawn, apparently. Take a few steps now to center into your body. And there you have it. We're focused, we're centered, we're ready to go move out throughout our day, feeling more like ourselves. A focused, centered version of ourselves. It's worth the work, I think. So, that's what I have. I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to remind you that I am a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com, and you can find me over there every day. You can find me doing readings, healings, tons of energy work, mediumship, channeling, past life work, animal communication. I will help you in any way that I can. If you need to contact me and I'm not there, either do a callback request, or if I'm busy, if you go over and you're like, gosh, I can't ever get through to her because she's always already talking to somebody else, that's totally fine. Do a callback request. That will put you in line, and hopefully the front of the line, so that as soon as I'm done with that person, the phone will ring and it will be you this time. It's really easy to do a callback request. And you can tell the computer how long you'll be available, right? So if you're only going to be available for the next 10 minutes, tell the computer that. And if I don't get to you in the next 10 minutes, well, then it'll just cancel that and we're good. But hopefully, right, it will. So it's simple to do that, but you can also do a scheduled call. You can do an email reading anytime. That's another way to connect. Or you can do a chat. I can't tell you how many times I have visited with a wife during chat while her husband was on the other side of the couch. And she was asking a question about him, or from your desk at work, or, you know, in any other place where you maybe don't want to speak on the phone, or maybe just socially you don't like to talk on the phone and you'd rather chat. I don't care. I'm here to contact with you or connect with you any way that is right for you. So you do you, and I'll be here for you. Alrighty. Well, that's how it goes. I'm going to be here next week. Same place, same time. We'll keep working. Thanks so much, you guys, for being here. Thanks for being a part of my process. I love you, and I appreciate you. This has been yet another production of The Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.